So you have a relationship. One second, one second. So we have a relationship, right? So when the child is speaking something or doing something, you get agitated. You get not agitation. You be joyful, right? You understand that in that state you become happy. It's a simple science, right? That means you are a person and he is a person, and there is a reciprocation. This is quite natural. There is no there's no topsy-turvy. There is no third. There's no artificial intelligence in this. Pretty straightforward. You don't have to worry or depend on anything else. It's given, you're doing it, and she is reciprocating, you're becoming happy. This is exactly happening in the spiritual world. But the problem is, in this material world, that connection which we are actually seeing, we don't see through the absolute truth. That is the only problem. The moment we begin seeing that through the absolute truth, everything is clear. For example, you get a reflection. You get an understanding. Oh, when I dependent, for example, I'll give a practical scenario. Let's say you're doing an action. Through that action, you're depending on the mercy of the Lord. And then you're intensely praying to Lord Nrsimhadev or to the spiritual master or to Srila Prabhupada. You're actually praying them. And then you're doing it. Before also you did it. But now, the moment you began praying and depending, the way you created, it's a creation, right? Like you're doing something. Let's say you're doing a paint. Let's say you're painting a picture. No, that became all of a sudden that is so beautiful. Up until that point of time, it was not that great. But now, as you began depending, you know, nobody else knows. For example, I'm sitting in front of you and you're doing your work. I'm just doing my work. But you are doing your work through dependence. And through the dependence, what is happening? The work output became beautiful. Now you are not telling anyone, but you yourself realize, right? Oh, I depended because my acharyas they told, and I see them also depending in that way only. See through the life of Srila Prabhupada, see through the life of spiritual master, they are completely depending, and then they are doing the action through the dependency. Please try to understand. And when you get the output, you feel satisfied. Now, the moment you become satisfied, what happens? The Shraddha within you, let's say the Shraddha is 1%, the Shraddha increases to 10%. Now, what you do? You tell this thing to your friends or your kids, your children. This is not like a difficult thing, right? This is not like a difficult sloka where you're trying to understand the tattva. Tata Svetar Hritar, you're not understanding, you're not trying to explain those things. So you're not trying to explain those things. What are you trying to do? You're trying to explain in a simple way. Whatever little reflection you got, that reflection, that faith, that shraddha which you cultivated through the process of Shravana and then applying those things in your life, you got that little understanding, little reflection. That reflection when you share to your beloved ones, then they will also get that understanding. And then if you have a nice relationship with them, they will also try to apply that. Through that application, they will also get that. What are we doing? Are we doing any rocket science? No, it is Krishna conscious. What is Krishna conscious? It is simple science. That means by the mercy of Lord Chaitanya, by the mercy of Srila Prabhupada, by the mercy of spiritual master, what are we receiving? We are receiving the as it is process. Simple way. We're not complicating anything. You see, Brijavas in in the spiritual, are they simple? They just milk, they're just they're just feeding the cow, taking the milk, feeding the calf. They're doing. It's a simple thing. Is it not simple? It's simple. That means to do that simple things, what do we need? Simplicity. If the person is arrogant, he says, what do you think? Feeding the cow, milking the cow, will I become a devotee? Yes, Baba, you'll become a devotee. There's no problem in that. Absolutely. Not at all. There's no problem. No, no, no. I want to know the big details. Big details, you that will reveal, it will come in your heart as a revelation. You don't have to work so much. Through Shravana Shakti, you get everything. Through hearing, through understanding, you get everything. That's why am I telling this is when the Lord does an action, He's doing an action. He's called as Madhusudana. He becomes a charioteer. He's called as Parthasarathi. He's not, he is a driver now. That means that Supreme Personality of Godhead, who is Aham Sarvasva Prabhu Matta Sarvam, he himself, he tells about him in chapter 10, about his glories, about his magnanimity. And then in chapter 11, he shows the universal form. It means he has unlimited faces, unlimited. It's like bewildering state to Arjuna because Arjuna receives that special vision to see it. It's a state of bewilderment. To understand, oh, what is this? He's trying to understand, he's trying to figure out, oh, Krishna, are you Krishna or somebody else? I don't want to see this form. This is ghastly form. I want to see your two-handed Sham Sundar form. Then he shows Vishnu form. Then he said, I don't want this also. I want Sham Sundar. I don't want anyone else. This is devotee, not devotees. Like deep relationship with the Lord. So a small gesture. This is Krishna killed a demon. It's a small thing. It's a small gesture. And then Krishna, he became a charioteer. It's small. That means, please understand, the Supreme Lord is trying to take that position, the smallest position. Why? For his devotee. Why he killed Madhu? For his devotees, na? That means Lord cannot stay in separation of his devotee. Please understand this. Now, what is Govinda? Govinda means one who gives pleasure to the senses. Whose senses? The senses of a materialist. He gives pleasure through that. That is indirect, but he gives pleasure to the senses of his devotee. That is Govinda. What is he doing? And Srila Prabhupada, when he honors Prasad, he gets unlimited bliss and happiness. That happiness and bliss is being given by the Lord by the mercy of his spiritual Vishnu. And Prabhupada proclaimed that so many times, multiple times, because he's so submissive. Exactly, this is what we need to follow. Sadhaka doesn't have to create so many things, doesn't have to know so many things. Simple things, simple ways. Try to put that in application. Your Patram Pushpam Paranta, put that. Put that to me. Put that as an offering to me. Your millions of dollars, that's okay. That's okay. You are unable to put those millions of dollars, that's okay. Put at least Patram Pushpam Paranta. Do it with the heart. When the heart is transformed, that will also come. That means that attachment will also be removed from our consciousness. You know why our acharyas tell that you should work for Krishna? Because we worked for ourselves millions of lifetimes. Na? That's why they say you begin working for Krishna. Oh, you cannot give results, that's okay. Just work for Krishna. Just think about him. Understand him. Know him. Man mana va madhubhakta. Meditate on him. Just do it. Just do your work. You're a CEO of a company, you're a director of a company, that's okay. Just do it. That means whatever you're supposed to do, you just do it. Please understand. When we do these activities in this way, then what happens? Then our vision to see the Lord and our vision to actually perceive Him in our consciousness will be thickened. Nothing is a loose process here. It's a very practical process. For example, there is a thief. Does he know how to do robbery? He knows everything. He got trained. So he robs a home. He has some techniques. He uses those techniques. If he's advanced, technological advanced, then he'll use technology also to do robbing. That means the nature is what? To rob. If he doesn't know technology, he will use whatever he has. If he knows technology, he uses technology also. Cybercrime. He will do so many things. That means what is a core root for that? To rob. That means irrespective of the situation, time, place, circumstances, wherever he is, he's also working. What is the intention? He wants to rob. Likewise, the intention of a devotee should be what? No matter what you do. You're taking care of the children, or you're working as a software engineer, or working as a doctor. You just do it for the Lord. Because that Lord, who is ready to come himself and becoming the charioteer. This is exactly that South India Brahmana was actually meditating on. What was he meditating on? South India Brahmana is telling, oh, my dear Lord, you're so great. Oh, you become a charioteer. You're ete chamso kalapumsum Krishnastu Bhagavan Swam. You're the source of everyone. You are the bhokta. That you are forgetting your that gesture, and then you're coming and then becoming the charioteer for Arjuna. Why? Just to please Arjuna, just to give moral support to Arjuna. Doesn't want that kind of a master. Just by seeing that, just by seeing the relationship between you and Arjuna, my heart is pounding, my heart is satisfied. Just by seeing the relationship between Srila Prabhupada and a spiritual master, our life will be satisfied. Just by seeing the relationship between Srila Prabhupada and our spiritual master, our life is success. How much love they have, how much devotion they have towards that person. They're ready to give anything. Wow, what a beautiful consciousness is. I don't see anywhere else in this world where the person is actually working for the other person. That means he's actually dedicating himself for the other person. That means the other person is not giving anything in return materially. We didn't see Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur giving thousands of rupees to Srila Prabhupada. Oh, I'm giving you thousands of rupees. Now you go and then do preaching. No, he did not do that. But not materially, but he gave so much strength spiritually, so much conviction in the heart spiritually. This has to come. This bhava has to come. Oh, what is that state? That state is a state which is free from bewilderment, right? Oh, we see in this material world when people run behind these material aspects, what happens? Bewilderment. Because the moment we begin running materially, what happens? That will sometimes be a success, but sometimes will be a failure. Now, I'm not speaking anything negatively here. If you take the association of this material realm, what happens? There's a chance. This is because because it falls in dualities. External energy is what? It's in dualities. That means sometimes you win, sometimes you lose. This cricket match, right? India playing with another country, or Pakistan, some other country, Sri Lanka playing with another country, and whatever situations or circumstances it is, there's always two things happening. One party will lose, one team will win, the other team will lose. The politics, elections comes every 5 years. So there are different parties. Will be the ruling parties and the opposite party. They all come together. Participate in the election. What is the outcome? Win or lose? What is happening? Because it's connected to the external energy now. So you'll see two things: dualities. That means the same person, the husband, or the wife. So the husband or the wife is interacting with someone. What is the thing? Two things, either good or bad. Anything, any person, any interaction in this world, you will see two things: either profit or loss. A person is doing business. What is the outcome? Profit or loss. Do you see more than this? Entire world is like that. Matra sparshasya kaunteya shita ushna sukha dukkha agamam payanam anityam tam titisva shubharata. That means that even that small thing when the Lord is doing, it's been named. Is this not a is this not a clear indication that this is so personal? This is called as bhakti. Bhakti is so personal. It's in the heart. That means you go introspect, you go deep. Continuously you're thinking about that only. Here, Srila Prabhupada is mentioning, right? The last line. The whole catastrophe was due to King Dhritarashtra because he encouraged a policy followed by his sons. Please understand what he did. He simply followed his sons out of raga. That means if the raga is not there, he would have followed dharma. Whereas raga is there, he's not following dharma because raga is dominating. In Krishna conscious, why people don't take closely to the heart is so many, it's mostly raga only. There is raga, there is attachment, there is fear, aversion, there is unwanted things, unnecessary things which is going in the consciousness. That's why this acceptance, just like Duryodhana, the Trashta, he couldn't perceive. Why is he not perceiving? Because he's actually following the words of his sons. This led to catastrophe. 64 crore people died because of one reason. Why? Because he's following his sons, which is not supposed to be done. A king should follow the dharma. That's why he's not following. That is the whole point why Krishna wanted to put them down, dethrone them. Because if a person on the top is committing mistake, that means will the people be happy? People will not be happy. You know why the society today is very bad, nobody is happy? Why? Because the people in the top, Shudras are sitting on the top. If Shudras are sitting on the top, what's the thing? Shudra means what? Whatever he wants, he aspires for himself. Actually, shouldn't use Shudra also. That's also even lesser than that. So those kind of personalities are sitting on the top, right? What? Everything is distorted. They give importance to sense gratification. They aspire for that. All of these things are the reasons. Everything, all of these things are the reasons. Please understand. That's why it's a very clear indication. Sanjay is telling the Thrashta that as you have followed that non-righteousness, you'll be put down. This is not following Dharma. And Dhritarashtra will no longer speak again. He'll speak at the end. It's all Sanjaya explaining him now. Because he's going to explain how Arjuna recites. 1 second, yes, let me 1 second. So those things have to be checked. Anyone, dear devotees, whoever, any person who's not following the principles of Dharma, as per which our acharyas are giving, anyone, can be anyone in this world. If he is not abiding to them, then he'll be kept in external energy, and then external energies, it can go in any way. We cannot proclaim that, oh, external energy is this, I am okay, I'm having this, I'm having that. Today we might be okay, but tomorrow we might not be. Even if we are not okay, let's say devotees also face difficulties. Who said that difficulties do not come to devotees? Devotees also do come. They also face difficulties, but they get more strength And then not just that, through those difficulties, they go internal. They internalize themselves more and more. That means they introspect more. Why this difficulty is coming? What should I do? How should I depend on the Lord? How should I take shelter? That's what they are thinking. That is their consciousness. Somebody was sharing me this. There's a famous cricketer. I think this happened 3 years back or 4 years back. His name is Shane Warne. He died at the age of 52. Like a very famous person in the world. Well, what happened? All of a sudden, he had a heart attack and then he died. And then just normally a person would live for 70, 75 years or 80 years. But he couldn't. Because this death is inevitable to anyone. Now, does anyone speak about his glories? Does anyone speak about him? No, it's gone. He's a great bowler, great spinner. Nobody discusses about him. It's gone. That means what is time doing? It is fading away everything. With Rashta, how much time he's the king? What is the tenure? For some years. Now after that, who became the king? Yudhishthira Maharaj. Then after that, what happened? Dhritarashtra had to leave. Means time, what is time doing? It will pull anyone, whoever he is. Even Hiranyakashipu, was he staying forever like that? Or people were chanting Om Hiranyakashipu Namah to him forever? No, he was not being chanted like that. So what is happening? The time is pulling him away. If the time is pulling those personalities, won't the time pull us? The time will pull us also. Before the time pulls us, we should take complete shelter. That is the agenda. That is a strategy. Before time pulls us away, we should take complete shelter. Because the time is not in our control. But taking association of the Lord, that is in our control. Taking association of the acharyas and then getting inspiration from them, that is in our control. Prabhupada is very lonely. But Prabhupada said that I'm never alone, I'm always with my spiritual master. But Prabhupada went through so many difficulties. Prabhupada said those are not difficulties. Because I used everything as an opportunity to advance in Krishna consciousness. Because through that advancement, I was always aspiring to try to follow the instructions of my spiritual master. So, what is this, dear devotees? This is not like Kaitava Dharma. Kaitava Dharma is what? A cheating religion. It's not like that cheating religion. This is what? This is pure devotion. This is Bhagavad Dharma. And whoever follows this Bhagavad Dharma, there is no question of anxiety in his heart. He's peaceful, satisfied. That means person should always aspire to this state. Because we don't know, dear devotees, when our final day is coming. And dear devotees, please try to understand. Let's say if a person has white hair, he put dye to cover it up. That means what is he doing? On a bodily plane, he's trying to cover up. Let's say the throat is, the skin is coming out. He'll do some surgery to put it uh, strong, where the skin is not loose. Because if the skin is loose, then people might think that I'm old. So he's trying to do that. Okay, externally you're doing that, but can you stop death? Was that person who earned millions of dollars? That person, that cricketer, did he stop death from his life? He went to Thailand, all of a sudden he slept and then he died. No idea. That means what is happening? Does Please understand this, dear devotees. A person comes, grows, provides offsprings, works, dwindles, and then leaves body. Prabhupada said this is what life is. And then through this life, if a person is getting connected to a Vaishnava, and then through that connection, if he's following the words of the Acharyas, that is the greatest benediction for him. If that is not plausible, that is not acceptable, that is not coming, then simply he will live the life just like a cat or a dog is living the life. Because what the cat and dog is doing, they're also doing, they're also born, they also grow, they also provide offsprings, they also work, they also dwindle, they leave. Work means they have whatever ahara, nidra, vayama, dharamcha, for that they have to work. For that they have to see that everything is taken care, right? And then they dwindle. This is exactly happening in the human form of life. So Prabhupada is telling what is the difference between a human being and an animal. Now this question, every sadhaka should ask this question. What am I doing? What is the difference? Am I internalizing? Am I going internal? You see that bamboo tree? Huge. It grows huge. At New Vrindavan, we have these bamboo trees. At devotee's home, they have huge bamboo trees. I remember for Radhashtami, we cut those bamboo leaves and then they have huge leaves and then we do decoration in the temple, New Vrindavan. We want to set up like, it's like a Brindavan. Oh, huge bamboo trees. What is the work for bamboo tree? Bamboo tree, within 1 year, it grows 50 feet. It is very against because on 4 5 years, it doesn't grow. A lot of people will think, oh, if people do not have any understanding about that, how bamboo trees would go, they're thinking, Arey, yaar, is this bamboo tree correct or good? Externally, it is not growing. But internally, the roots are going deep, 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 taking more shelter, taking more shelter. Don't we see this exactly in the life of Srila Prabhupada? 50, 40 years, nothing was manifesting. Doesn't mean that Prabhupada was not working. Prabhupada was internalizing more and more. He's going deep, deep. So many issues. He's tolerating all of them, accepting everything. Accept issues. If there is a problem, oh, accept. There's an issue, accept. Prabhupada had problems, family problems, this problem. Prabhupada had financial problems. Prabhupada simply accepted. Everyone cheated on him. Prabhupada simply accepted. Accepted it as a blessing of the Lord. Even at the last moment, when Srimati Morarji Desai, she tells Srila Prabhupada that, oh, Swamiji, you will die if you go to West. Now she is also. Now later on she says that, oh, Swamiji, as a daughter, I'm telling. Then Prabhupada immediately said, as a father, follow my instruction and then send me. As a father, I'm requesting, send me. Now, Srila Prabhupada had to go 3 4 times to her to get that acceptance. And then finally she accepted. And then she sent him. Did she send him in a plane? No, no, in a cargo ship. See this, dear devotee, how many difficulties he has taken. And then, do we see any complaints in Lilamritam? Oh, this personality, that thing. Prabhupada accepted all of them. Don't see any complaints. Hare Krishna. This is pure soul. This is exactly what we need to do. Mimic karna. We need to follow this as is. Anukarana. We should repeat. We should try to perceive this consciousness. That means if we follow simple thing, dear devotees, in our life, you see a lot of reflections. What are you trying to do? You're depending. For example, there is sleep. You want to sleep. But if you sleep, your services or your rounds cannot be completed, or you'll be missing out in your services. What do? You pray to the, oh my dear Lord, there is Nidra Devata. Please ask her for that. Please, I don't sleep. Please. What are we doing? We are praying. We are depending. Please understand. The more you internalize, so much chaos might happen outside. You'll be calm if you're going internal. If you're internalizing, what are you doing? You're depending. Even this internalization, kama, krodha, madhamoha, they also increased. Understand, dear devotees. We will not use our words just like that. You internalize so much about that before you use those words outside. I remember one senior Vaishnavi was telling me, she's telling, oh, if you're Don't think that you're just speaking like this. For example, if you are speaking any harsh words to the other person, don't think that those harsh words just came like that in a moment. No, you internalized those things before. That means you worked on it in the background. That dvesha which is there in the heart, that is working. You're working on that. You're not working on the glories of the Lord, but you're working on that. You're working that this person did not do this to me. What he did not do, what he did not do, that you are working internally. The process. Oh, he should have done in this way, in that way. Why is he doing like this? Why is he doing like that? It's like we are like controller, we are like trying to control that person. This internalization comes, and then all of a sudden it becomes a manifestation. Telling that you did this, you did that. What is this? Is also through internalization only. But on the other side, when we internalize ourselves, in what way? By going deeper. Going deeper what? By depending on the words of the acharyas. We should always ask, how do I depend? How do I ask? How do I inquire? This is what now we should cultivate. That means what are these? These are all qualities. Now here all these personalities, they're all from the side of Pandavas. Beautiful. They're all blowing their conscience. Hmm? The science already clearly indicated that the whole Kuru dynasty would be killed in that battlefield because they're blowing conchs with great confidence. They don't have anything to lose. They're ready to give their lives. This is called a surrender. They don't have anything. They're ready to lose anything. They don't have anything. They're ready to lose. How how they don't have anything? Because everything belongs to them. Everything belongs to the Lord. This is a real state. This is real bhakti. Real bhakti is what? Real bhakti is submissiveness. Real bhakti is to develop these qualities, not to cheat the other person, not to be duplicious through the nature, through the mentality. This aspiration should come. We should see the life of Duryodhana, what he carried. At the end, Vidura says, oh, you are eating like a dog at the home of your enemies. Now your enemies became your friends. What's going on? What do you have in this world? Your children, they all died. Still you want to live. You can't even see what kind of life is this. Then he realized and he attained the impersonal liberation because he doesn't have a connection with the Lord. Whoever has connection, they only go to the spiritual world. Otherwise, they will either go to Brahmajyoti, impersonal liberation, or they go to heavenly planets through Karma Kanda, through the benefit of Karma Kanda. Because anything which is done on a goodness, on a sattva level, not keeping Krishna or the acharyas in the heart, they all lead to punya karya. It's not more than punya karya. It is that only. So these things we need to definitely check. Internalization. Please, we should internalize our consciousness. Why am I doing this? For whose pleasure I am doing this? The bamboo tree is teaching so many lessons. The swan who's going in the water, we just see the swan from externally, very nicely floating. It's like she's floating in the water. But technically, what is she doing? She's tapping her legs continuously so that there is a movement, and through that movement she goes. This is called as her way of swimming, which nobody can see externally. If I see externally, oh, it looks calm, peaceful, but internally it's working so much. Likewise, a devotee externally might look calm, peaceful, is giving respect to anyone, everyone, you know, is really is happy, is nicely fun, but internally is meditating continuously. Is internalizing this consciousness. Oh, how is it Arjuna is becoming like this? How is it Duryodhana is becoming like this? How is it? How is that Duryodhana want this property, and then how is it Arjuna wants to give up this property? And Prabhupada says that Arjuna has that state. Arjuna has that simplicity, and the Prabhupada says that he is a qualified student to actually hear Gita. What is the qualification to hear Gita? These are the qualifications. Tapodivyam, tato, tapodivyam putrakaina sattva, tapasya. What is bhakti? Tapasya, austerity. But tapasya has to come. So small things we depend. You sleep in the night, you pray to the Lord. My dear Lord, please help. If you give me an opportunity, I'll get up early in the morning. What is happening? You're doing an action, but through that action, what are you doing? You're connecting. We're discussing here, right? What should be the mood? My mood should be, my dear Lord, please help me. I can't do it by myself. You help. If you give the strength, then I can. Then I can speak. Then I can be of some service. And what should be the mood of the person who is hearing? Please, my dear Lord, please help so that I can hear this truth more and more, and then apply this in my life. Please. Oh, that should be the mood. That should be the mentality. Because, my dear Lord, there is nothing in this world which is actually giving me solace. Finally, I found this Krishna consciousness. Finally, I found the process of Shravana Kirtan, which is so pleasing to the heart. Please give me an opportunity so that we absorb more and more. This is a practical way we are asking the Lord. My dear Lord, please help. Please. Just like a child, dear Lord. Child cries. Mother immediately understands why the child is crying. She will go and then feed the child, give some prasad, or take care of the child. Because our acharyas, they know what we want. That's why they give us this. That's why Srila Prabhupada wrote all this purpose. Why pure souls, they are continuously absorbed in this truth. Because this is the only investment which will give us the greatest role in this creation. There is no higher investment than this. Hare Krishna. This we need to pursue. Hare Krishna. When we have this understanding, our life will go on nicely. If we do not have this understanding, our life will be topsy-turvy. Because we're not working now. Say if the bamboo goes, the next part of the bamboo tree. Let's say the bamboo grows heavily, but if the roots are weak inside. Do you think that bamboo tree will sustain? It will fall. Because the roots are not grown inside. The roots are on the surface level only. Let's say if I'm using big words, and if I'm not following them, not internalizing them, will that help? It will not help. It will not help me. It will not help the person who's actually hearing. It has to be internalized. Very, very important. It's amazing. Dude, it's been 4 months. I stopped working. I can't understand. I just saying, trying to see. It's been just over 4 months. Stopped working. It's a joyful experience, but still not satisfied. I should invest more. Should invest more so that there's some service to the spiritual master. Should invest more because it's important. Just thinking, 4 months just flew like that, and then 4 years will also flow. I remember spiritual master telling us today, very beautifully told us, now going forward, the Bhagavatam will be in a different plane, different level. He says that he wants to discuss for like 3 hours, 4 hours. This is perfect, amazing. Perfect way to quit the job. What do we do? Do Shravana Kirtana and then do services to please the spiritual master and then lead the life simply. Then give that, whatever happiness is coming, share that happiness. What is life? That is life. This is actually life, dear devotees. By the mercy of the spiritual, I am convinced that there is no higher happiness than Krishna consciousness. There's no higher happiness in this. There's nothing actually. There's no higher. Everything is futile. Everything will leave the track. This is the only thing which will actually stay. Krishna Swadhamo Pagate. When Krishna left, he gave Bhagavatam and then left. And this is a jewel. This is a nectar. Parikshit Maharaj, when he heard that he should leave the body in 7 days, up until that point of time, he was profusely lamenting. He's lamenting continuously. How did I do that? How did I do that? How did I put the snake in the neck of Shamik Rishi? How did I do that? That means a mistake is done, and then see his attitude, internalizing. He's going internal. He's checking his head. Why did I do that? Why did I do that? And then the moment he heard that news, he said, "Thank you, Krishna, for giving me this. I deserve. Now I'll immediately leave everything and then take shelter of a pure soul. Welcome aboard." This is how Bhagavad Gita will be revealed to us in our heart. If we are very sincere to accept the truth, to follow that from dear devotees, if you simply have a desire to hear, everything will manifest. Have a deep desire to hear. Oh, my dear Lord. Life after life, I heard so many things, all movies, this, that, so many other things. I don't. Nothing gave me happiness. Only this Bhagavata, this will give us satisfaction. This Parikshana immediately. Dear God is not thinking, अभी क्या करेंगे, अभी छोड़ेंगे क्या, नहीं छोड़ेंगे. It's only 7 days. It should have been 70 days. He's not thinking any of those things. Immediately took shelter. That means all his life he worked for him all day. So the moment he heard the message from him that yes, you come, immediately he left everything. Babre. Such a beautiful thing, na? Who will get that thing? He was the most fortunate person. He seen Krishna face to face in his mother's womb only. Mother Uttara, when Brahmastra was coming, Ashwadhama, another person, wanted to kill everyone. So much enmity. Wanted to kill, wipe off everything. On the side of Kauravas, even Duryodhana was like fearful through his state. So much enmity. Son of Dronacharya. So much enmity. Wanted to wipe off fully. Then at that moment, Krishna comes and then protects. The last pure soul. The last soul. It's very, very pure in his heart. So Krishna ready to protect us. It is we, what we have, what we aspire for, what we want to do. Desire. Because that is this only thing will give you satisfaction, dude. Or money will not give you satisfaction, sense gratification will not give you satisfaction. None of those things will give you satisfaction. Big, big homes, that will also not give you satisfaction. Simplicity, Krishna consciousness, that will give satisfaction. Becoming submissive to our acharyas, that will give satisfaction. Trying to please the words of Srila Prabhupada, that will give us satisfaction. We don't want to take the route of Duryodhana Dhritarashtra. No, we don't want. We see their life and we consciously we try not to do those things. That's what we need to aspire. Dear devotees, when you actually think about this, when you actually discuss about this, when you actually hear about this, your heart becomes so strong internally. When you really hear, you will never commit sinful activities. Because whenever that sinful activities thought will come, you'll remember, oh, Prabhu told, Prabhupada told like this, and not do this. That is a protection for us. Even if we committed, continue hearing, that will eventually will go. Parshuk. Very important. This is called an internalization. Because your heart will tell, Arey, this is galat hai na, ye galat hai. I remember telling, my heart will tell, it will respond, galat hai, this is not correct, you should not do this. That's it, you will not do it. It means you should take the association, the internalization. This is called as internalization, should go. You go internalization. Very important. Duryodhana Dhritarashtra didn't want to do this. That's why now Dhritarashtra is asking all these nonsense questions. क्या हो रहा है उधर क्या हो रहा है? Did my son win? What's happening there? Is he losing or winning? So questions and anxiety. क्या problem है? क्या problem? What is happening there? That's why Sanjay, he's a pure soul. No? He's very nicely, tactfully, he's trying to explain Dhritarashtra. No, it's all explanation. Sanjay is all telling the Gita now. Now next Krishna, Arjuna will enter. Now he will share his experience. After that, Krishna will chastise Arjuna left and right. Then Arjuna says, Krishna chastised after surrender, dear. Please understand. That means surrender is the precursor to hear Bhagavad Gita. Well, beautiful science you read about it. It's not like we learn some knowledge or some info or try to gain something, try to hear from here, try to hear from here, some other source, try to hear from some other source, try to hear from some other, and assimilate everything. Then try to understand, try to have some knowledge, and then tell that knowledge to others. It will not work. Because your heart is not transformed yet. Very important. Prayers. Anyone would like to add? Like to share any questions? Prayers. So these things have to be meditated. We should always take these things into our consciousness because the secret is in the consciousness only, nowhere else. I remember Spiritual Master telling, who gets most benefit to the association? A person who hears very nicely. He gets the most benefit. For example, a person is actually serving, doing very hard service, but he's not hearing. Or that person will not be benefited because he doesn't know how to internalize. He doesn't know how to check the consciousness. He doesn't know how to see which anartha is coming in which way. He is not internalized. It means even though he did service, he will leave one day. But if a person is doing services on a surface level, but he's hearing attentively. His service, which is there in the surface level, that goes deep. His chanting, that goes deeper because he's hearing. He's understanding. Hare, I'm not hearing the holiness. Let me hear the holiness. Hare, I'm not understanding the truth. Let me hear the truth now. Internalize, internalize. Hare, thank you. Let us all aspire for this state. This state is very beautiful state. And I remember my spiritual master telling, you cannot, you cannot understand what this truth is, what I'm telling. That's what he says. You should become very, very submissive while hearing. Then there is a chance so that you can understand a little bit out of it. Otherwise, it's difficult. Very important. You should we should go. We should always check our heart. Correct. Let's stop here. Thank you all very much. The caused an inconvenience, please excuse me. We'll continue from Sloka 19 tomorrow.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji, please accept my humble obeisances. All goes to Srila Prabhupada. Prabhu, thank you so very much for the... Can you hear me, Prabhu?
Yes, Amma, yes. Please tell.
Just wanted to share beautiful points, Prabhu, discussing among and sharing to others that intensifies, gets that connection, that relationship.
Actually, that is the way how the truth will penetrate into your heart. Today only.
Very
Senior,
cool.
because it's a practical way. The truth will penetrate into your heart. The more you begin discussing this. Why are we discussing this as a service to the spiritual master? Because when we do all of these things as a service to the spiritual master, what happens is not only the truth is penetrating into our heart, that relationship with that person, that is deepened. That is personal Listen, that is bhakti.
Mm.
People do not have a clue. That's why they wander so many places. Oh, we don't have to wander. We got everything. Now we need to go internalize. We need to internalize. That means, for example, if a person supposed to know what he's doing, let's say he has to hit the nail at the right place. He knows where to hit. Then he will do his work. He got the destination. He got all the tools. He got everything. He doesn't have to look here and there. He has everything. He has to just go there and then do it. Let's say you know where to go. Let's say you're traveling from Tampa to Cleveland. You'll go to the gate of Cleveland, then you'll board the flight. That's it. You don't have to deal, oh, there are 1,000 other flights. Should I go in that? Should I go in this? No, that's not your business. Our business is to find the route, understand that, just hit the target. That hitting is going internalization. And that you need to pursue more and more.
Thank you, Prabhu. Yeah, as you said, 4 months already since you have come to Tampa. Like, time really flies. After that, I think after you left, 2 months later, my mother-in-law also left. We used to discuss, even in the class when she has doubts, I used to, whatever little I understood, I used to explain. And then we used to talk. After the class also, we used to discuss, Prabhu said this
Very
one,
nice.
Prabhu said.
Very nice.
Now I could clearly see that, that faster being in that discussion, in relationship intensifying, beautiful. It's practical, Prabhuji. It only thing is we have to observe. We have to give that time,
You have to
as you
invest our
said,
time.
invest our time.
Exactly.
Be
Exactly.
simple, grounded. Let's think about. We should be. This is what called as mercy towards ourselves, right?
The truth will sink. The truth will sinken. The truth will sunken into our consciousness. It will sink more and more into our consciousness.
Yeah,
That's what we should do.
yeah.
Because
Thank
one day the body will not function. What do you do with that? This truth will come out. Whoever comes to you will tell the truth at that time also. That's what exactly they're doing in the spiritual world. What do they do? All the devotees when they come together, they discuss about the glories of the Lord. Oh, Krishna did like this, Krishna did like this, she did like that, he did like this. Oh, he did this beautiful thing. Oh, she did this beautiful thing. Oh, we felt very happy doing this. This is what they discuss in the spiritual world. Because they are free from all the anarthas. They are not worried about the anarthas. They're free from all of them. They're just happy doing it. This is bhakti actually. Please understand. This is bhakti. Bhakti means you don't have to. Bhakti means one person might say, oh, I'll distribute 1,000 books. Okay, you're distributing 1,000 books, but there is a rein to have. With what motive, with what mode, with what consciousness, that is all the questions which you need to ask. If you're doing or distributing 1,000 books for some name, fame, profit, adoration, that is no bhakti. You'll get some punya. You'll go to heavenly planets because you distributed Bhagavad Gita. But you'll not go to the spiritual life because there's no relationship. For whose happiness we are doing it? Do we continuously remember our spiritual master? Do we continuously remember Srila Prabhupada? Do we know how much difficulties he went through? Why did he do this? That's why he says that one person, if there is one person who is doing that pure devotion, I'm indebted to him. Because the pure devotion is done only when that person really understands who this person gave this to me. Up until that point of time, everything will be a word jugglery. Very important. Continuously should hear, 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 yes. And whatever reflection you are getting, that is what Krishna is. You should tell that to your children. You should share. I remember many when I was married to my wife. We went to one store. It's 2 minutes. We went to one store, and then we were trying to put that item, that box in the back side of the car, in the trunk. It's not fitting. Then she told immediately. She said, "You depend on the Lord." That's what she said. And then I just started praying and trying to put. An American came and then he showed me how to put inside.
Mhm.
That might be a small thing. It had happened like almost, we've been married like almost more than 11 years now. It was almost happening like almost 11 years back. But it's there in the consciousness because it's a reciprocation. We feel that, we understand that. And this is a small reciprocation. When you tell this to our child or dependent, they feel, oh, Krishna reciprocates like this. Then they will also tell something which is even more beautiful than that. Because how did they receive? Through Shiva, through Shravana. At that moment, if I felt that, oh, his wife, she's dependent, she doesn't know anything. If I thought like that, then he wouldn't have come. It means the way how we perceive the truth, you'll get the reflections in the heart. The more you do it, the more it becomes practical. This is what how the discussion should be. Hare
Thank you so
Thank you.
very much, bro. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Thank you. Anyone else? Hare Krishna. Thank you all very much. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji, then Pranam Magla Srila Prabhupada. Them giving a wonderful lecture, Prabhuji, and them giving a wonderful bhajan from Sivalas Prabhuji, Alan Narasati Brahmavani. Thank you so much, Hare Krishna. Jai Mishmada Paramahamsa Parivirajagacharya Jarita Shesha Maresi Bhakti Vranda Samaraja Srila Prabhupada ki jai.
Jai.
ISKCON from the Charya Srila Prabhupada ki jai.
Jai.
Jai Mishmada Paramahamsa Parivirajagacharya Jarita Shesha Mar Bhakti Saranta Saras Gosama Raja Srila Prabhupada ki jai.
Jai.
Nandu Gautam Vind ki jai.
Jai.
Acharya Sardastikur ki jai.
Jai.
Namsa Goshi Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Rudragrada Shri Sari Gaur Bhaktivinoda ki jai.
Jai.
Shri Radha Krishna Gopi Gopinath Shamanda Radha Kongari Gaudan ki jai.
Jai.
Shri Maya Paridam ki jai.
Jai.
Shri Vrindavan Dham ki jai.
Jai.
Shri Jagannath Puri ki jai.
Jai.
Ganga Maya ki jai.
Jai.
Yamuna Maya ki jai.
Jai.
Tulsi Devi ki jai.
Jai.
Bhakti Devi ki jai.
Jai.
Haranama Sankirtan ki jai.
Jai.
Swami Vidya Bhaktivinoda ki jai.
Jai.
Nitai Gauri Pramanande Hari Hari Bol.
Hari Hari Bol.
All glories to Samudavati Sri Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
All glories to Samudavati Sri Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
All glories to Samudavati Sri Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
All glories to Shri Guru and Gauranga. Namam Shumraya Krishna Mishtaya Bhutali Shrimati Bhakti Vranta Swamiti Namani. Namaste Saraswati Devi Gauravani Bachani Nirvishesha Nivari Prashradishtarani. Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Rudragrada Shri Sari Gaur Bhaktivinda. Mukam Kuroti Vachalam Pangamlam Kartikari Mikri Patamaham Vande Shri Guru Dinitanam Paramanand Madam Shri Chaitanya Ishinam. Gurave Gaurachandra Radhika Tirale Krishna Krishna Bhakta Bhakta Namo Namaha Vanchal Vishya Kripasme Vichapati Tanam Pavane Vaishnavi Namo Namaha